What's up, YouTube? It's been a while since I've done a deck profile, so I thought I would show off my post Darkwind Blast Danger tier profile. I just won a remote duel local with it today. Haven't really tested post Darkwing that much, so there's definitely some things I would change in this list, but it worked out really well today, so I'll just thought I'd show it off. So starting with the tier monsters, we max out on all of them. It's pretty standard. You want to see them, you want to mill them. They're dumb. They're good. For dangers, we're playing Triple Nessie. One of each of these because they're at one, and then the two Mothman. I'm not sure if I'm gonna play dangers going forward. Um, but like I said, I didn't have a lot of time to test the post Darkling stuff, so I just kind of went with built on the list that I was playing prior to the new set. Um, and I like the dangers. I like how consistent they make the deck in a way. Like they make you draw, they trigger tears, and I still think the Curious Griffin combo is really good, even without a snow. Um, I was playing Eradicator. I've cut that for the Griffin, but I still think Griffin with an Elf tart pointing to it is still really strong. I only used that once in this tournament because with the Roll Kalos, the new one, it's kind of difficult to have that on board and also go for the Griffin stuff. You have to really have a good hand. Yeah, when it comes up, this combo's insane. And we also play a small sprite package. So I play these and then the one smashers. Because we do make Spray Elf practically every turn because for some reason it's generic, lol. Um, it's kind of good to mill one of these, or at least mill blue or jet, and just bring it back off the elf, just to get the smashers, or you can get the negate or whatever. Plus they're also dark. Well, these two are dark. Different attribute, different type to everything else, so they kind of help your curious play as well. Again, I don't know if I play these going forward. I might cut either these or the danger package for the bestials, like I'll show them here, like the magma roots and the droid one. But I only pulled one of these on 3 boxes, so I don't have them. But one of the new cards we do have is the Blaze and Cartesia. I was playing the brand High Spirits package last format with the Albion instead, and I really liked it. But this card is really good because it gives you an extra tier summon. So if you activate brand High Spirits, send a tier, add this, get your fusion for a kit, you can then summon this, make hard fuse your kit and whatever tier you add off of the kit to get a Roll Kalos, and then you can then trigger the tier. So it's effectively a way to get an extra summon. You can make a Baron with it and Grua, or you can just use it as a body. Kind of wish it was dark, so it would help the Curious line, but it's not. We also play the one Zephyros. Bouncing the danger with this is really strong. And even like scenarios where you just have to bounce, like even just a field spell or whatever to um, like just to get a level 4 on board. It's pretty good. You can also do it on the follow up, so like on turn 3, bounce the field spell just to get the field spell back. There's like weird scenarios like that. It's really good. And then we also played Strudo, getting just another card that you can mill as an extender. It's, I mean, it's a tuner, so you could make Baron with it, but it's yeah, it's hard to do. That's it for monsters. So for spells, we play effectively 4 copies of the field spell because the field spell's really good. We play 3 of the new cards Scream. I don't know if I'm going to keep this ratio, but I really like this card. This card is insane. So if you don't know what it does, if a monster is normal or special summoned while you control a tier, Or no, sorry, if a monster is normal, special summon, and you control a tier, so even if you just normal summon a tier, you mill through. And that's either player's turn. So it's effectively an extra form of disruption on your opponent's turn, and it also lowers the attack of all monsters your opponent controls by 500 for the rest of the turn. And that's every monster they summon, I'm pretty sure it is anyway. Uh, yeah, for the rest of his turn, all monsters your opponent controls lose 500. So this, with the field spell buffing your fusions, it kind of makes your tiers get crazy. And then if it's milled, you can add a trap, which is typically Solok. So I really like this card. Then we play the free branded high spirits to go with the Cartesia. A free super poly. It's sometimes you actually have to super poly own board to use as an extender, but it's also just a disruption. And also play droplet. Um, I don't like hand traps in this deck, but I wanted some form of disruption card, and it's good if you like in a mirror or any match where your opponent will summon a dweller, and then droplet's a good card. And it's usually quite free as well because with the high spirits you often have a free card in hand because once you've had once you've used Cartesia, the high spirits are just a essentially a dead card. Um, and then power one obviously you've got instant fusion, foolish, cool buy, and then your one smashers to go with the sprite stuff. And then the final three cards are the free Solic. I was playing two, but I think with Scream, Freeze, probably right. So it's a 48 card main, which is a lot more than I would normally play, but there's so many cards that you want to see. Like there's so many combinations of cards that do stuff. You have so many cards that you mill. The Scream, the Solix give you um, effectively extenders in a way. Like they give you searches. You've got all the dangers to add one. Like you almost never break with this deck, even though it's 48, and like you never want to see multiples of any cards. So I think 48 is. I might cut it down, but I kind of like it in a way, just because, like I said, you don't want to see multiples of any cards. So let's get into the extra deck. Two kit. I was only playing one for a while because you're always putting it back, but I think in a format with Bestials, you always want to make sure you've got a kit because you need a kit to summon the new one, the Roll Kalos. The card's insane. It means you no longer you lose to Nib, which was like the big reason. Like the big blowout against Danger Tier is they just nib you, but this says no. And it's also just a really good card. So effectively, uh, so none of your other aqua monsters can be destroyed by battle, which sometimes comes up because if you've got, say, you've used a Havnis or you've got Merly on the field, a lot of times they would be forced to just battle over it to stop you from getting the effect, but now they can't. That effect doesn't really do a lot, I'm not going to lie. But the effect where if your opponent would activate a card or effect that special summons, you can negate it and then send a tier. So you can just send itself, and then this fusion summon card, if it sends a graveyard card effect, just comes back. So you can only do it the once, and then you've got to actually fuse it again to use that part of the effect again. But it's really good. And then the one Collide Heart's good. All the tier fusions are good. And then for the rest of the fusions, we've got the one Mud Dragon, the one Garua, the Stapelia. Pretty standard at this point. For links, we have two Sprite Elf. You could cut one, but where I play the Sprite package as well, and I also play a Gigantic, so this comes up. When I can get hold of the new Sprite card, the Sprint, I'll make one of these for that. Because I think that card has utility in this deck where you can send a Merly, but at the moment, the combo is you would summon an elf, bring back a jet, or one of your sprites, make gigantic, and then get a Merly out if you have no access to tiers. So then you can then make a second elf, and then on your opponent's turn you have them early to fuse, but with the sprint you can just summon the sprint and effectively do the same thing. So you may not even need these anymore, but that's why they're there. And then we play Dark, Curious, and Griffin. These two don't come up as much anymore, but if I'm playing the Danger version, I want to play these because I think these are so much more oppressive than just like any of the other Link 4s. Like, some people playing Zero Boros, I've seen IP with the Bomber Dragon, and I like if you have access to this, like it almost feels like if you summon this turn one, you're not losing. That's pretty much what it feels like playing this deck. And then for Exceeds, you play the one Gigantic and the one Dweller for the Mirror. Uh, kind of wish I had space for a Zeus, honestly. I feel like that comes up, but we don't. And the last card is a Baron. Not necessary at all, but if you're playing Cartesia, you may as well play it. And then side decks, just kind of left over from last format. I would definitely change the side going forward, but this is just what I played for this locals I played. So free nib. Uh, at the time last week it was good against Danger Tier, but not anymore. But yeah, like at locals I played against Earth Machines, and it's like good against combo decks. It's just not good against Sprite or Tier, which are the two best decks in the format. So I probably would cut this going forward. But Tier, free Ghost Reaper. I think Tier is the best deck, so it's for the mirror. And then because we do play such a large Sprite package, it's also good against one of the other best decks. The one Dirty Time card. Never used it, but it's here just in case it ever comes up. One Duster, three Cosmics, mostly for Runic or any kind of back row mine decks or whatever. Free Evenly for, again, mostly back row decks, but it's also just board wipe if need be. And then the one Eradicator if I ever decide to side in with Griffin. But like I said, I summon Griffin so rarely that it just never goes in. So all of these would probably change, honestly. But yeah, that's just what I played. So I'll probably do an updated deck profile for this soon, but this is just what I played day one of the new format. So yeah, if you like the video, you have any friendly criticisms or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And yeah, have a good day. Goodbye. YouTube things. Goodbye.